So IT took to IG, posted a video entitled "The Book of Isaiah," hashtag keep doubting, hashtag killer season, some behind the scenes from his rehab. It was voiced by, among others, our own Jamel Hill. I mean, she took a clip from the six, basically.
Glad he was watching.
So if you do two things today, if you read two things, read Tom Haberstroh on the significance and seriousness of IT's injury, and read IT's first-person account of the trade on the Players Tribune. This is one of the quotes from it. Yeah, I'll just say it. That stuff hurt, talking about the trade. It hurt a lot. And I won't lie, it still hurts. It's not that I don't understand it. Of course I get it. This is a business. Danny Ainge is a businessman, and he made a business move. I don't agree with it just personally, and I don't think the Boston Celtics got better by making this trade, but that's not my job. Read the full thing for yourself. Jamel, you read it? What's your, well, what do you mean? What's your biggest takeaway?
Well, I did when he said, but that's not my job, but that's not any of my business. He might as well have
No,
said,
I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, what you put there, that was my overall takeaway from the piece. And I think because we live in a sports society that's very desensitized when it comes to the movement of players, their transactions, and especially with the advent of fantasy sports, is that makes them see players as even less than human. And I appreciated the fact that he admitted that it hurt, and that, as he just said, the fact that it still hurt. And I think a lot of times, it's funny because when players react emotionally to being traded, as he has, they tell them they're being soft, right? Or they tell them to suck it up. You're getting paid millions of dollars. Who cares? You know, move on to the next. But when KD, and he's talked about this, decides to leave, then the fans want to get in their feelings. And then they want their feelings to be respected. And so I guess what this...
Some of those are apples to oranges. Sorry to cut you off. Some of those are apples to oranges.
I know sometimes
I don't think you can make a general blanket statement about, well, players take their career in their own hands, fans get mad, teams deal players, fans.
But that is what happens, though.
Sometimes it's a little, there's some nuance involved, but continue.
Sometimes there is, but nevertheless, I think people get wrapped up into not understanding that this is for players, regardless of what the paycheck says. This is a lifestyle change. They have families that are rooted.
Thankfully, his kids took it well.
Yeah, especially his son, who was like, oh, my God, Dad, you get to play with LeBron.
Yeah.
So I think bringing this emotion to it, it just kind of added, it just made me, in a lot of ways, feel some level of empathy for a lot of Boston fans who were very upset about the fact that IT was traded.
Well, and I was just simply pointing out that I don't know that you can always compare every transaction made by the player in this day and age to the ones made by the team. That said, though, there are people that's never going to resonate for. People are never going to see the hypocrisy or the inconsistency in that, because I think most people look at the team as their team. So they're always going to take the side of their team, as in you abandon us. You abandon this community. You abandon this franchise, which I support. I supported you. So that's for the KD example, for instance. Like, even though IT was different, he poured his heart and soul into Boston, loved the city, loved the organization. It moved on. From him, I don't think people are going to now have a paradigm shift as it comes to player empowerment.
So I guess that trade request was a good idea after all. It's okay. You could tell me I was right. It's okay. I know it hurts, but you could tell me I was right.
No, Kyrie's fortunate. Kyrie's fortunate that he landed in a great situation where the Boston Celtics...
Fortune favors the bold, Mike.
This could have backfired, though, too.
But it didn't.
Okay, but that's not a reason to say that it was wrong to ask for it. I never rejected the idea that Kyrie Irving wanted to change and was entitled to take control of his own career. I rejected the notion that he was somehow being held back by LeBron James and this thing that you like to parrot, which is you're betting on yourself. He did. Newsflash, Jamel, you can only bet on yourself if you're holding the cards. He did not have a no-trade clause, so this could have easily ended up with him in some place like Phoenix, with all due respect.
Focused on the negative.
I'm not focused on the negative.
It worked
I'm
out.
saying good for him for landing in a great situation.
It never happens unless he says something. He was bold enough to ask for a trade request.
But you're saying you were right. What if he doesn't? What if Boston doesn't step up with that Brooklyn pick in that package, and he either has to come back to Cleveland?
If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk, Mike.
All right. Well, if you want to do that.
No, I'm just saying that, like, that's why I always loved him doing this. Look, LeBron has been the ultimate blueprint in taking control of your destiny. And I hear you about him not being a free agent, so it is a little bit different situation. But by creating the drama, it was actually brilliant, because he put the Cavs in a position where they felt like they couldn't bring him back.
Sure.
And therefore, it was a great opportunity for Boston And they were able to
But he gave a list of requested teams that they didn't have to honor. It worked out where the Celtics were willing to trade with their rival in the Eastern Conference and give a package commensurate with Kyrie Irving's value. But okay, you know what I love? I love women. You in particular in this case, because you love to say, I told you so. Props to Danny Ainge, who you and plenty of other people like, Danny, why won't you pull the trigger on a trade? This picture yesterday was of Gordon Hayward next to Kyrie Irving. So say you were wrong about Danny Ainge not pulling a trade for a star. I think he made his team better.
This is why I'm more mature than you. Yes, Mike, I was wrong.
Older than me, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
See, I'm trying to be a grown person.
You're not getting older, you're getting better.
No, I mean, look, like a lot of people, I've been waiting on this moment for the Celtics. Like, do something.
Yes.
Make a move.
They got now and next.
Yes, they made a move, and not only that, they may have weakened their rival.
Well, I don't know about now. it's still LeBron's conference.
Is it?
Yeah. But again, Kyrie asked for this trade after they won the finals. The why bothered me. You win the finals every year, but you know what? He'll probably be back with this squad.
The Cavs and Celtics have until Wednesday to agree to the Kyrie Irving Isaiah Thomas blockbuster trade that's hit a snag due to Cleveland's concerns about IT's hip. The deadline to report and submit to a physical for the players involved in the trade is 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. The deadline to pass the physical is 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Thursday per league rules, although both teams can mutually agree to extend the deadline. So the Cavs are trying to hit up Boston for another asset or assets. So far, the Celtics reportedly are reluctant to sweeten the deal. Should the Celtics amend said deal, Jamel? Who blinks first here?
No, they shouldn't amend the deal at all. I'm wondering if this is one of those situations where both of them have gone so far down this road that neither one of them can afford to turn back, as in who has more pressure to make this deal. I think they both do in their own unique ways. Given what the fan reaction was to Isaiah Thomas being traded, a lot of fans were really upset, and especially with everything he gave them last season, obviously the tragic passing of his sister, to trade that kind of guy and try to bring him back, that's just awkward for everybody, much like it would be on the other side with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. They've both gone too far. Make the deal.
I don't think there's equal incentive to consummate this trade. And I'm the same person that said that the Cavs didn't have to do anything this year, given Kyrie Irving has 2 years and then an option on his deal. They could bring him back, make him be a big boy and get along nicely with LeBron James, and then revisit if and when LeBron walks next year and trade Kyrie with 1 year and an option left on his contract. That said, Cleveland had better call up. Kobe Altman did a great job with this trade. You call up Danny Ainge and you assume that Chris Rock tone. Excuse me, I was wondering if you would be willing to part with a couple of second-round picks, or maybe one of your first-round picks. For sure, not Memphis's or the Clippers' first-round picks, and for damn sure, not the Lakers, Kings, Sixers pick.
No,
because they're not going to get anything else better than that Brooklyn
close
pick
to this.
And Jay Crowder.
Right.
Okay, so Isaiah Thomas, you're the Cavaliers. You could take Isaiah Thomas in the second half. Plus, you knew you were getting, with all due respect, damaged goods. You could take him in the second half of the season for the stretch run and make do while he's on the mend. But there's no way that you sit up here and mess around with this Brooklyn pick that's got you so set up for the long term and the short term, if you want to flip him for a star, under the guise of being greedy and trying to get something out of him. If you're the Celtics, you're like, yo, man, y'all knew what y'all were getting when y'all made this trade. Go out and find something better. We'll wait.
Yeah, they have to figure out a way not to snatch victory or snatch a loss.
Snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. And the Celtics have enough assets to where they can address point guard long term if the Cavs
Cleveland figured out the perfect trade. Take it.
Kalen, as much as you admire your brother, do you feel the same way? Are you already sick of hearing Cam Newton's little brother? Would you prefer to just be Kalen Newton?
Of course. You know, I've been trying to be Kalen Newton my whole life, I would think. But, you know, I guess it comes with the territory. When people see me and see the last name, they see, I guess, the most famous. But, I mean, I'm trying to be my own man. I am my own man. And I will hope that people respect that.
Well, I think people definitely respect it now after that big win for Howard. So give us some idea of what this week has been like for you following such a huge upset victory. I mean, are you getting extra mambo sauce wherever you're going? What's this
Excuse from class?
Right? What's the week been like?
Well, it's been good. You know, great vibes around the whole campus. I haven't yet got some mumbo sauce, but you know, I've been eating good, living good, sleeping good. It's just been an amazing experience.
So are you just coming off the practice field, or are you just rocking the uniform all week? Because if I were you, I would. I wouldn't have taken off my uniform all week. I'd have been big man on campus. You just finished practice, though, I assume.
Right, I just finished practice. I haven't took my uniform off since no, I'm just playing. I wouldn't have a roommate if I didn't take my if I didn't take my uniform off. But I've been living good, man. You know, it's on to the next one though.
Well, I was going to ask you too. Like, I'm sure you guys are on the high, but how do you enjoy the win and appreciate what you accomplished, and yet continue with this culture change that you guys are trying to instill at Howard? How do you kind of put that behind you and move on despite all-time great upset?
Just hard work, you know, speaking it to existence. You know, all week we've been saying we're going to do it again, we're going to do it again. And, you know, hard work pays off. You know, the story's already written. As my OC would like to say, Coach Marion, he said, you know, it's already written. We just have to show up pretty much. You know, work hard, good things will happen.
Tell us what Mission Possible means to your program.
Mission Possible. Coach London has multiple quotes that keeps us going. You know, every day it's a speech. Every day he has us ready to go. You know, Mission Possible means everything. It means show class, go to class, and treat people with dignity and respect. He's a father figure to all of us right now. It's we, ours, and us. You know, this team is doing big things right now, and it's Mission Possible in every category.
Now, coming out of high school, you drew some interest from Kentucky Christian University, Texas Southern, Savannah State, but you settled on Howard. Why?
Howard, man, it was just the grace of God. You know, my father said, we're going to look at Howard. And the coach there had just left, and it was just a lot of prayer. When I came to Howard, and at the time, you know, I really couldn't see why. My father could, but I just trusted God and trusted my father, trusted my family, and everything worked out perfectly. You know, it couldn't have went better.
So you are Cam, okay, just for purpose of this question, you are Cam Newton's little brother, but he does take advice for you, because we were reflecting earlier today. I feel like this was the Titans game from a couple of years ago when he mentioned you at a press conference, and he said that you told him to dab on them folks. That was you, right?
Yeah, it was me.
Okay, so who's the best dancer between you and Cam?
The best dancer? I mean, I got rhythm. You know, bow-legged old me. You know, this lower body, it's tricky. You know, if you see the pictures now, I got a lot going on lower body-wise, so he can have the dancing.